Want to build a stunning website using AI without coding? In this video, I'll show you step-by-step how to create your website in minutes. Let's begin.
Welcome to The Explainer. I am incredibly thrilled you're here today, because we are going to do something that honestly, until very recently, felt completely out of reach for most people. Today, we're entirely removing the coding barrier. If you have absolutely zero technical background, if you have never written a single line of code, and if you have never built a website before, you are in the exact right place. We're going to learn how to create stunning, fully functional websites using artificial intelligence.
I want you to really think about that for a second. What if building a website was literally as easy as typing a single sentence? That's the reality we live in right now. For decades, building a website meant learning complex languages like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or paying thousands of dollars to a professional developer. It was just an intimidating process. But today, we're going to completely shatter that intimidation factor. As you'll see, plain everyday language is the only programming tool you actually need.
Okay, let's dive into our simple step-by-step game plan. First, we prep your data. Second, the simple build. Third, we'll level up to premium 3D sites. And finally, we take it live.
All right, step 1, prep your data. Say goodbye to the dreaded blank screen. You know, that massive writer's block that stops so many projects before they even start. Before a website can look good, it actually has to say something. But you don't even need to write your own copy anymore. Just open ChatGPT and ask it to generate a complete business profile for you. This very first step is entirely code-free and practically effort-free.
Just look at how detailed this gets. By simply asking for local business data, the AI generated a highly realistic fictional business, Shri Balaji Home Tiffin Services. It even gave us a tagline, Garj SS Swad Hardin, which translates to a taste of home every day. It provided a founding year of 2021, a full sample weekly menu, and even structured pricing plans. It's like a giant puzzle, and it just hands you the pieces. You just copy this text, and you're ready for the next step.
Moving right along to step 2, the simple build. This is where the magic really happens, and the AI takes the wheel. To do this, we use a tool called Google AI Studio, running a model called Gemini 3.1 Pro. Now let's cut through this jargon simply so you know exactly what tool is doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Think of Google AI Studio as just a free workspace on the internet. Gemini 3.1 Pro is the powerful brain inside that workspace. All you do is paste the text we just generated into this platform and type a simple instruction, like build a website for a tiffin service business whose details are shared below. And when you hit build, you literally just sit back and watch. 233. That is the exact number of seconds it took for the AI to generate a complete, mobile responsive website based on that simple text prompt we just gave it, under 4 minutes, from a text prompt to a fully coded, functional web page. And this brilliantly illustrates how intelligent the AI really is. It doesn't just copy and paste your text onto a page, it actually understands the context. When it saw the business name, it automatically designed a subtle professional logo and placed it in a hero section. When it read the business hours, it built dynamic logic to actually show closed on Sundays. When it saw a phone number, it didn't just write the number out, it created a clickable, functional WhatsApp button. It acts exactly like a senior web developer, anticipating what the site needs. But what if you don't perfectly love what it created on the first try? Well, customization is unbelievably easy. Inside Google AI Studio, there's a tool called Focus Mode. You simply click Focus Mode, highlight an element, let's say the background or an icon, and you just type a natural command. If you type change the color from orange to blue, the AI rewrites the code instantly. In our source example, a complete site-wide color theme change took merely 36 seconds. You can highlight a message icon, type change this to a WhatsApp icon, and boom, it's done.
Let's just pause here and emphasize the incredible real-world value of this simple skill. As noted in our sources, by creator Darsh Jain, you could directly sell a website of this quality for 10 to 15,000 rupees to a local Indian client, or even higher to an international one. You are literally turning a 5-minute AI exercise into a legitimate business opportunity.
Okay, step 3. Level up to premium 3D sites. Now we're going to push AI to its absolute limits. Our source, Shreyas Raj, shows how to create what he calls 3D award-winning $10,000 worth websites, exactly what Apple does.
You know those beautiful, scrolling tech websites where a product seems to explode into its individual 3D parts as you scroll down the page? Well, using a pair of Sony WH-100XM6 headphones as an example, he demonstrates that AI can generate that exact hyper-premium effect entirely from scratch.
Here's the advanced pipeline to pull this off. First, use an AI tool called Google Whisk to generate high-end product images, like our Sony headphones. Second, upload those still images to Google Flow, instructing it to animate a slow-motion 3D explosion of the product. Third, run that video through a tool like Ease GIF to extract every single frame of that animation, say 240 separate images. Finally, feed those frames into Google Anti-Gravity, which generates the complex code needed to tie that entire animation directly to your mouse scroll.
Now, if you attempt this advanced method, you will definitely encounter some developer jargon like Node.js and terminal. Let me reassure you and translate this into plain, understandable English. Node.js is just a standard computer program you download that lets code run in the background. Your terminal, that's just a screen on your Mac or PC where you paste text commands. Together, they create what's called a local host, which simply means a secure way to view your high-end website on your own computer before it goes out on the internet. Even at this elite level, you're still basically just copying, pasting, and letting the computer do the work.
Which brings us to step 4, going live. Whether you built a beautiful 5-minute Tiffin service page or a complex 3D headphone showcase, right now it only exists on your screen. This final step is remarkably straightforward. In Google AI Studio, you simply click an option to download your AI website's code as a zip file. You double-click that file on your computer to extract the folder. Then, you open a free hosting platform, our sources highly recommend Netlify, and you literally just drag and drop that folder onto their website. Within minutes, the platform processes the files and gives you a live shareable link. You can text that link to anyone in the world and they'll see your website.
However, there is a very important distinction we need to make as we wrap things up. Free hosting platforms are absolutely amazing for practice, for testing ideas, and showing off your progress. But transitioning from a fun hobby project to running a real digital storefront, that requires a professional upgrade.
Here is a quick summary of why platforms like Netlify are great for testing, but why you'll eventually need professional platforms like Hostinger. Free hosting gives you severe limitations. You get unprofessional subdomains, meaning instead of just your name.com, it'll be a long, messy link. You're prone to lagging speeds and frequent downtime. Plus, you're missing absolutely crucial business features like custom emails. Once your AI website is making you money, investing in a professional domain and solid hosting is the obvious next step.
We have covered an immense amount of ground today, but just look at what you've learned. You don't need to know code, you don't need to be a designer. You can generate the text, you can prompt the AI to build the layout, and you can drag and drop the whole shebang right onto the internet. The barrier to entry isn't technical anymore, the only barrier left is your imagination. So, now that the code is completely written for you, what will you build? Start experimenting today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.
Do like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more.